Today is not for proving. Not to bosses, not to ghosts, not to the old tribunal in my head. Today is for protecting the conditions in which I can remain myself. My structure is not a preference. It is not cosmetic discipline. It is not a lifestyle accessory for more efficient ambition. It is the trellis around the living vine. It is medical, neurological, psychological architecture. When the day is shaped well, I come alive inside it. When it is not, I do not merely struggle a little. I begin to drift, and drift is expensive for me. That is not failure. That is physiology. That is the plain law of this particular life. My nervous system does not run on pride, force, or stories about what stronger men should endure. It runs on rhythm, on predictability, on recovery, on autonomy, on clear boundaries and low interruption. Give me those, and I become calm enough to think, strong enough to act, gentle enough to love, and clear enough to create. Take them away, and stress compounds like unpaid interest. So I do not compare my inner weather to other people's climates. Some people can live among constant noise and remain intact. I cannot. For me, disorder does not stay small. It spreads. So I choose trajectory over drift, form over fantasy, habitat over heroism. Medication, pacing, environment, routine, these are not signs of weakness. They are not crutches. They are beams and joists. They are the quiet craftsmanship that lets the house stand. Protecting my routine is not selfishness. It is stewardship of a rare ecology. The off-ramp is sacred. It is not leftover time, not bargaining space, not something to trade for approval, urgency, money, or the temporary relief of being seen as good. It is where the nervous system unclenches, where the static drains, where the inner weather comes back down, where I can hear the still small voice again beneath the engines and alarms. A walk at lunch is not an interruption to life. It is life. The street, the park, the trees shifting in the wind, the light on a building, the ordinary cup in my hand, the body moving at a human pace. This is not empty time. This is the mandala. This is the blossom being cherished before it falls. This is the quiet world in which spirit returns to the senses and the self comes back into right proportion. Peace is not a pause between meaningful things. Peace is the field from which meaningful things grow. All real impact flows from there. Work, love, fatherhood, reading, courage, contribution, leadership, art. Not from scramble, not from urgency worship, not from self-betrayal lacquered over with praise. I can work hard without kneeling to urgency. I can lead without becoming endlessly available. If something new is required, then something else must move. That is not negativity. That is reality. That is the arithmetic of a livable life. Many people will not understand this. Some will call constant access virtue. Some will call self-erasure kindness. Some will treat my availability as proof of love. They may keep their stories. I will keep my life. A single careless evening can cost me days. That is not noble. That is not sacrifice. That is waste. I I can care for others and still defend the conditions that let me remain whole. I do not need to manage every perception in the room. I do not need universal understanding. I do not need to win the social field. I need a week I can actually live inside. I do not need to be intense today. I do not need to be electrified. I do not need to feel heroic. I need to be steady. I need to hold attention and let it drain. I need to cherish the quieter blossom. I need to remember that the life I want is not elsewhere. It is built here, in the small, correct honoring of what keeps me real. Small, right actions compound. So does disorder. Today I choose the compounding of steadiness. My limits are real. My needs are real. The cost of ignoring them is real. So I move calmly. I keep the structure. I protect the off-ramp. I defend the peace that lets truth speak. I allow myself a sustainable pace, not because I am giving up on greatness, but because this is the climate in which my real life flowers. Not through heroics, through maintenance, through cherishing, through the honorable art of keeping the blossom alive long enough to bloom.